Welcome to the tutorial on solving more than one triangle using trigonometric ratios. These could be 2D or 3D objects that we're looking at. The first one we're looking to look at is a small table has the shape of a regular octagon. The distance from one vertex to the opposite vertex, measured through the center of the table, is approximately 30 centimeters. There is a strip of wood veneer around the edge of the table. What is the length of this veneer edge to the nearest centimeter? So the first thing we need to do is draw our diagram. So what does an octagon look like? It has 8 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And my shape is going to look a little bit weird. My octagon is not, I'm going to make it so it looks more like a stop sign with flat on the top and bottom. And please don't make fun of my drawing. I'm trying to make them as even as possible, but obviously it didn't quite work. So there's the center. And I know that from one vertex to the opposite, because it says from one vertex to the opposite, the distance measured through the center of the table is 30 centimeters. So the whole thing is 30, so I'm going to break it up into 15 and 15. Now there is a reason why I'm going to do this. I know that the table has a strip of wood going around the whole thing, but in order to calculate the veneer edge, I'm going to have to add up these little strips that are around the table. So in order to do that, I'm going to break up my table into triangles. And obviously then, where the green is, those edges are all 15 centimeters. So each one of these edges is 15 centimeters. So I'll just put in a couple of them here. What else do I know about the table? I have how many triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I also know that in the middle of my triangle, of all these of the octagon, if I want to find out the total degrees from start to finish, I know that it's doing a complete circle, so that's 360 degrees. So that means that 360 has to be divided between how many angles? I have 8 of them, so I need to divide 360 divided by 8, and that equals 45 degrees each. So I have 45 degrees in here. I have a side of 15, and I'm going to erase my 8 so you don't get confused there. We know that's the 8th triangle. I'm going to call this one B, this one C, and my point in the middle here I'm going to call A. Now I need to find out what I'm going to need to find out an edge length for BC. Well, how am I going to do it? I'm going to bring BC out of my triangle, out of the octagon. So I'm just going to draw it here. I have B, I have C, and I have A. A in total is 45 degrees. I know that AB is 15 centimeters, and I know that AC is 15 centimeters. How do I change this to right-angled triangle? I'm going to draw a line in the middle of 45 and split that in half, so BD is equivalent to DC. That also means what I've done is I have dissected my angle A. So each side of angle A, where my orange is, it's like taking 45 and dividing it by 2. So angle A equals 45 degrees, or I can write it as 22.5 plus 22.5 for both sides. So now I have a side length, an angle, and I have the ability to find BD. So let's go ahead and look at that. So there's my 1/2. I have B, I have D, I have 15, and that is 22.5 at A. Now I need to find BD. So if I look at that, how do I use an angle to find the opposite over hypotenuse? I'm going to use sine. So my sine of A, of angle A, equals BD over AB. And I know that angle A is 22.5 because I've got that here. That equals angle, my little A up there. So 22.5 degrees is equal to, I don't know BD yet, but I do know AB, which is 15. So multiply both sides by 15. 15 times sine, 22.5 degrees equals BD over 15. And I go ahead and can cross out my 15s. That leaves me with 15 times sine, 22.5 degrees equals BD. And if you put that in your calculator, you will come up with the amount. Now, one trick is, I know I'm going to need for the full BC, BD equals BC, or DC, so I know that because I've divided it in half. So I can technically multiply it by 2 now or wait until the end. I think for ease, I'm going to wait until the end for you, just because a lot of people will get confused. So if we put in 15 sine 22.5, you should get 0.74. And, excuse me, then, now there's some new numbers, so I'm going to approximate it. I also know that, again, BD is equal to DC, and BD plus DC equals BC. So I'm going to go ahead and just multiply by 2. 5.74 equals BC, which is going to give me 11.48 approximately. That equals BC. And for the total veneer, I need to multiply BC times 8 because there's 8 sides. So I need 7 more of them. So if I look at it, 8 times 11.48 will give me the total veneer, which is equal to 91.844, and so on. So again, I can approximate it to 92 centimeters.